Alright, so I'm pretty lost on what to do with DL after this patch, and it's not particularly because of the damage nerfs, even though they're big deal. So, like, Ruinous Impact losing the debuff, that's pretty big. I would have considered switching to water, but it's okay. I don't really care. Dead Hands losing the auto Aurora buff, okay. Creeping Terror, that cooldown is a bit much. That cooldown is definitely a bit much. But that's not really the main problem. Like, the main problem I'm really facing right now. It's more this. Where, whenever you do any swap of any kind, so including this goes on cooldown, right? Just swapping in general goes on cooldown, and then if you do something like another swap during its cooldown, like while the cooldown's still going, it refreshes. And that's really like the hard part that I've noticed that I have trouble dealing with right now. I've mainly only been playing in raid, but even in there, I can really feel that I'm too used to doing something like this, where I do Supreme and then I do Ruinous, and then I would swap back to CL for Dead Hands, and maybe like I need to find a different approach to how I play. Maybe change up the flow, because like doing what I'm doing right now isn't really gonna work, because I was really reliant on using the swap key, and with it just like if it's just gonna keep on going on cooldown, then I don't really have the option, right? So I might have to, or might not might, I will have to like think of some ideas to really change that. So I think it's either an approach, like I need like a different mindset of playing Dreadlord. I think that's the answer, but maybe the other answer is to have different skills. Period. Besides the usual four that I'm used, like that are automatic shoot-ins. Well, I still like Apollon out of the CP skills, just because I like something that hits above, and I don't think other CP skills do that. So I'm gonna stick with that, even if it doesn't do as much damage as I wanted to, but that's okay. So Dancing Blade here. Okay, so Dancing Blade. I really want to keep Dancing Blade, because I really like it for being kind of like the skill where you just dash through at it like within like a set distance of just everybody. And I really like that for like positioning and repositioning, like positioning and all that. But maybe I need to give that up, just so I can clear in a little bit more like straightforward left right fashion, like how this game is probably intended to be cleared through in dungeons. So let's look through the other CL skills then, because having another loose skill just isn't going to work, because I already have three. Having like a fourth, especially like summon, even if like summon darkness is an option, that's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work for balance. So what else do I got? Well, let's see. Dark Crescent. Okay, so Dark Crescent reminds me of Grandmaster's Humming Wind too much when she had it, where it's low MP, relatively low damage percentage, but it's arrow K, it hits in a circle, and if you have like enough attack power to make it kill like reliably, then it's a good tool to rely on. But I personally don't think I have enough like damage to really like really make that consistent. And relying on high percentages from maximization, that's just gonna bite me in the ass when I want it to actually kill. and it doesn't. So I sort of wanna avoid that situation, because if it doesn't kill, then it's just gonna launch these mobs, and God knows who where they'll go. So I want to avoid that. Triple shot, it's too basic. It's too basic. It's just straight line. It's pretty long for its animation. I need something a little bit quicker. I just need something a little bit quicker. And the space it controls, let's just do Supreme. Just do Supreme. So the last one is Flick Shot. And Flick Shot, I just think it's a really boring skill to use, because like it's really boring and it doesn't have like anything interesting if it doesn't have anything interesting regardless of whether it kills or not, or however you use it, because it just fires. It just does this, right? And it's not like something like Flying Kite where I can at least kind of like position myself around it, maybe like make it hit more or extend its range. It's like, no, it's just gonna do this. It's just gonna do its thing where it just shoots, and there you go. At the very least, like, and I don't feel like it's going to really outright kill a lot of scenarios. It's gonna be more for like aggroing and all that, and I would rather find, like, if I'm gonna use that much MP just for aggro, that's really questionable to me. Or that might just be me stuck in the old Dreadlord ways. But like, just as a skill by itself, without like the mindset of it being like optimal, I don't like it. So I'm really stuck with Dancing Blade, because I'm not gonna use Phantom Blade. I'm not gonna use Phantom Blade. So I'm stuck with Dancing Blade. So what's left? Well, I ruled out Summoning Darkness. So let's just look at actives. So this active does the whole shackle thing into a dash punch. That's not really what I'm looking for here. This thing just does a slash. It hits in the back for extra effects, which is cool, but I think it's a bit too picky for my liking to like get the most out of it. So I'm not. Terror's Orb. I like Terror's Orb. Always have, always will. I'm good with having it around, because it's good to have more MP. Strong Strike. I don't think I can really use this anymore, because it's just a simple shot now. With Devil's Fire being gone, it's like, well, it's just there. And I didn't like Devil's Fire just because of the buff. I mean, the buff was cool, but I actually just like the fires themselves, because they were good additional damage, and they homed, they applied hit stun, and they were just good solid follow-ups. I think in like my 4x time attack, there's actually a scenario where I do an X, and a fire goes in the opposite direction to save me from an attack, which well, I'm definitely gonna miss that. Terror Chain. This would be good as a really fast, or just as a swap active, but the problem is that I fear that having this is just gonna make my problems worse, because if I'm using MP to swap, and it's just gonna put the cooldown on again, so it's okay. I feel that might actually limit my options even further trying to use that, because it's not a filler active in the general sense. And if I want to swap, I should probably just conserve the MP just for the other skills, or the others, like the special actives. So I'm left with hunting prey here, and it's not a bad option. So I have an idea in my head after playing for a little bit, like besides just raid, and you can tell me if it's like a good theory or not, at the very least. So let me put on the swap CD here. This. Alright, there you go. So the idea here is that I think I might have to play a little bit more active heavy just to fill in the time between the swap cooldown. And it's more of like a mental thing, because I could always just do this and then just do that, right? And that'll do the trick. But then I'm not really using like all my skill slots, and I could be like dishing out better damage, or having like a better like setup than just doing that. So let's see. So if I want to like combine it, then I would probably do this. Do that. And when Terrazorb is done, swap CDs off. Cool. Like swap CDs off. So it's really good. And if I wanted to do hunting prey, oh whoops. Let's just do this. It really lasts a really long time, but if I do it right away, I can get it like a dash jump ZX, and that'll fill in the time too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, where I should play a little bit more active heavy, just to fill in the time, just to not make myself think that I'm just sitting here and doing this all the time. I should probably be thinking about using my actives more, and probably like taking advantage of terror absorption a lot more than I currently am, because I definitely don't think I use it as much as I think I should, and that'll probably end up being the case for hunting prey too, if I ever once I get used to it. So that's really my idea, and I don't know if it's a good solution at all until I really put it through like the test and do something like another time attack, where I'm just trying to optimize the situation and seeing where I'm like really struggling or not. Cause I'm definitely too used to this base. I'm definitely too used to this base, and then what do I do? I remember I remember on patch day, the first thing I did was go into raid, and I think half of the raid, I was so confused about what to do with the swap key off. So I really want to alleviate that. I really want to alleviate that. Yeah. Like all I got. That's the main idea in my head. And if this idea doesn't work, then I gotta swap the skill. I gotta swap skills. And probably the main thing I gotta swap is probably Dancing Blade into Flickshot, despite how I don't really like using it. But if I gotta use it, I gotta use it. I do sort of fear though that while it might be more optimal to play with Flickshot, it might not be like the right way for me. But I can't really tell if that's just like me being really stubborn in my habits or something else. And I guess like one last thing before I just wrap this up is that one additional thing I really have issue with right now is this. For whatever reason, I have a really hard time using dead hands again. Because I'm too picky about using dead hands. I'm always thinking, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna swap to CL here and do dead hands. And when I don't do dead hand there, it's really like a roadblock in my mind. So maybe what I also need to learn is maybe to use skills like even when they don't swap. So I should just use dead hand on Lou and not care. I'll try like, but that might be like only for dead hands. I might still want to try to swap for all the other skills just because they have a lot more CP. But yeah, that's really about it. I don't know. I'll try to figure something out. I'm not the person that class changes due to balance changes, though. I get the feeling that Nobilis is dealing with this to some extent, too. The Swaki, at least. Don't know about actual like balance changes and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for listening and for watching. I'll catch you later.